What is up, everybody? And the audio is coming through. Welcome back to yet another belated episode of the Camera Junkie live stream. If it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Luis, also known as Mr. Camera Junkie, where I remind you to upgrade your skills before your gear. And if it is your first time here, welcome. And please be sure to introduce yourself into the chat so that you can get the nice Camera Junkie crew welcome. And with that being said, as tradition goes around here, the first thing we do is go ahead and check out who are the first camera junkies to be hanging out with us here in the chat. All right, and right off the bat, we have Gretchen. That shouldn't be up there. Let's bring this down over here. All right, Gretchen saying hi to myself, to Aiden. You probably see him hanging out over here a bit. And safe travels, yes, because right now we're in Emporia, I believe that's how you say it, Emporia, Virginia. Um, Bit of traffic. Funny things that happened trying to get out of the house, and for everyone who, I would like to thank everyone who wished me well wishes during the hurricane. But I just want to emphasize that the hurricane was very lackluster in my area as far as like weather came for Thursday, like when we were supposed to be feeling it, like Thursday night, and Thursday during the day, and it was like almost clear skies. But then come Friday, the day that I had planned to leave and start the road trip, it was a torrential downpour, and it made things so much more difficult for me to get out of the house on Friday. So I wanted to leave at noon, and I ended up leaving and started hitting the road around 4 o'clock. So I started 4 hours behind, and but then I was able to make up some time. So luckily for me, I'm already past the halfway point on my second day, which is ideal. We're gonna see how many miles I get to put in tomorrow, Sunday, because my hopes are that I am within the Amesbury area so that I can spend the entirety of the day tomorrow, Monday, already, like, soaking in the city before I even like go to check in at the hotel, which would be like around 3 in the afternoon. So that's what we're hoping for. But let's continue. That was just the first comment. Gretchen also says Ecam beanie is in the bag and some gloves and toe warmers. You know what I also have? Something for you, Gretchen, that we spoke about a long time ago, but we'll see if you remember, and if not, it'll be a surprise for camp. So there we go. And she's saying hi to Parker Jennings, so that means he's got to be in here as well. It says packing my woolly for camp. I know, and pack warm because I'm already here in Virginia and I can already tell the temperature change. But I'm also really excited for tomorrow because tomorrow is going to be the biggest change when it comes to scenery around me. As I drive, I'm gonna start finding, or I'm just hitting Virginia, I'm gonna get into the states where we're already seeing the autumn changing into autumn, the oranges and the yellows and the colors and the leaves. And if what Ken and Glenn and the Ecam team has said that's going on, that it's like right now it's like peak season. So it's gonna be a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to take a lot of good photos just even on Monday, take advantage of that. We also have Yolanda in the house saying hi to everyone. How are you? Paula says greetings from Amesbury. Are you already there? Did you make it before I did? That would be impressive. Said you'd be glad you did. Yes, if you packed warm, because I guess he's already saying that he's there. So that's cool, Paul. And he's already, feeling the cold. And he's also saying hi to Parker Jennings. He says it's currently 49 degrees here, so that will obviously confirm that he is in the Amesbury location. We also have Kevin saying hello to all. And there's Parker. See, look at all these comments before I even get to Parker's, and he's usually the first one there. You see, saying hi to Gretchen and to Paul. We also got Nano sneaking in here, saying what's up to the folks. Says the colors are definitely here. You see, that's another confirmation. Oh, I can't wait, and I'll be there. Oh, and yes, he says he got here Friday morning. All right, that's cool. So that like, oh, you got there when I started taking off. Okay, so now let me get into a little bit what happened. Um, I'm old now, so I'm in love with minivans, and I rented one last year, and it was such a game changer that I made sure that I rented a minivan this year as well, just to make it super comfortable and easy for Aiden and I. So I ended up getting a Chrysler Pacifica rental van, and this thing is brand spanking new. Like I got it with 150 miles on it. So I'm literally breaking it in, and it still has all the like the plastic peel on everything. So I might have a blast just ripping all the peel off. You understand? But I digress. It is so brand new, but with the newness comes all the new features that I'm not accustomed to. And all I did was basically like load the van when I picked it up on Thursday so that I can head out on Friday. What ended up happening was what I mentioned. It started raining big time, and the trunk, or like the lid, so to speak, on the back, or the hatch, and the sliding doors on both sides are all automatic, and you can control them from the key. But I really don't know all of the features because it's not a vehicle that I'm used to. So words. Okay. As it was raining and I was loading things into the vehicle, right? I had the back hatch open because even open it kind of creates like an umbrella protecting me from the rain. So I loaded some things up, pressed the button so that it can close the hatch, and then I ran back inside to the house so that I can finish up. And in just that little time, I am drenched. I'm soaked, and now I'm like, oh, I have to change clothes and all this stuff. So I actually start doing all of that. I start changing, I start drying myself, getting Aiden ready. And now it's been at like a half an hour since I had been in the trunk. And I grab Aiden and I'm about to load him into the car seat. So it's raining. I got Aiden in my arm. I cover him up, right? And I open the door. And when I open the door, what do I see? I see the minivan with both sliding doors on the sides completely open, and it's just been pouring into the rental. And I'm like, holy crap. So I put Aiden down, and then when I go check the van, it is soaked. Aiden's seat is soaked. Everything is soaked. And I'm like, I don't even think there's a button, and just showing you guys, like right here, if you could focus on it, right? I don't think there's even a button on here that will open both doors simultaneously. So I don't know what I did accidentally, but both doors, both sliding doors were open. So it was just like this hollow hole in the middle, and everything got soaked. So I went, grabbed the towels, and started drying everything while I was cursing to the clouds, so to speak, old man screaming at the clouds. And yeah, and it just like took so much more extra time to like get things dry enough for us to leave again. And that was all on Friday. So that was part of my 4 hour delay, with all the rain. And once it started subsiding, I was able to finish up the things that I had. But once again, I had to like redo myself because I once again got completely drenched while I was, doing that transition. And it caused me to have to like change clothes again. It wasn't the best start to the road trip, so to speak. But I literally had to get to the point where I was like, you know what? If I've forgotten anything, I forgot it. I have to leave. You understand? Just so I can like save as much time as possible. I didn't want to waste Friday in South Florida, so I take off, and now I'm visiting my friends in Orlando because that was the next stop. So I'm headed towards Orlando as my first stop in the road trip. And what ended up happening was that I ended up forgetting a couple of things. And one of the things that I forgot was an Ethernet cable. An Ethernet cable that I got because I bought this little guy right here. This is a TP-Link, like little wireless 6E, like connection box. It's basically designed for situations like this. So I was able to plug in the Ethernet cable, and get a much better wireless connection right here in the room instead of using the one for the entirety of the building. Well, unfortunately, it looks like I forgot the Ethernet cable, but I was able to ask for one at the front desk. So I was like, I thought I was saved. And yet, still, the Ethernet jack on the wall did not work. So this was completely useless for me right now. And I wasn't able to use this as my internet source. And when I tried the wireless from the hotel, it was way too slow. It wasn't even uploading at 1 megabit. So I had no chance. And I was really worried that the streak was going to die if I didn't have internet to actually complete the live stream. And lo and behold, the savior of the day, iPhone hotspot tethering. So I took the iPhone and I put it up against the wall or against the window so that it has its best connection to the outside world, so to speak. So it's pressed up against the window, and from there it's creating a hotspot which I'm connecting right here. And believe it or not, it gave me 20 megabytes up on the 5G network, which is pretty impressive. Seeming that if I wanted to run this at 4K, which was not necessary for today's live stream, if I wanted to run it at 4K, I still could have needing the 15 megabits per second. But seeming that the 1080 was only like 5, it's more than quadruple of what it needs. So I was pleasantly surprised to say, like, hey, you know what? The iPhone is coming in to save the day. So we got to give it up to the iPhone and the hotspot tethering, because it literally has saved the streak for the iPhone. That you saw how much brighter it got, because that lamp was not on and it just decided to turn itself on. So let's reverse that. Wow. There we go. We unscrew it. Very strange. Okay. Back to normal. Well, that's basically it that has happened. So I came here with a plan. I stopped at 8 o'clock, right? I got a hotel so that I could make sure that I was here by 9, so that I could actually make sure that I was at live streaming at 10. And when I get here and I'm thinking like I got all my I's dotted and my T's crossed, I forget the Ethernet cable, and then I'm like, you know what? Let me grab one from the front desk. I get one. The connection still doesn't work. The wireless still doesn't work. But to save the day, we have the iPhone tethering, and as you can see, no hiccups so far. So my mobile setup right now, just to give you an FYI of what we're using, my laptop was dying as far as battery goes. So it's a MacBook Air M1 first generation, and it only has 2 Thunderbolt ports, so to speak, or USB-C ports. But the laptop was dying, so I have to use one to charge it, and then the other one I'm using to connect the ZV-1F, which is what I'm using to broadcast, and that's the camera of choice. But because this is connected and both ports are used, I wasn't able to connect a microphone to get the highest quality audio out of it. But luckily, the ZV-1F allows me to access the microphones from the HDMI connection just the same way. So connecting the camera is giving me the feed, but it's also the microphone that you're listening to right now, so that we wouldn't be using the MacBook, microphone. So it's not exactly what I wanted, but as you can see, it definitely does the job. And with the application that I use, Crisp, to make sure that it cleans up all of the audio from that microphone, we are good to go. But now, with that said, I'm going to go back into the chat to see what you guys are talking about. But this is my mobile live stream setup. I have the M1 Mac Mini. No, not listen to me. I'm talking about what I have at home. My MacBook Air M1 with the ZV-1F connected via HDMI. My light source is my Ulanzi 40 watt, what is it? The LT028. And, excuse me, I don't know if it'll pick it up. See if it'll pick it up there. But I literally have it at 1%. I don't think it'll come through. But I have this little light at 1%, and then I'm bouncing it off of the wall to get my colors and to get the correct exposure. So I have some motivation built in from the hotel there. Prop this up, and this is my mobile live stream setup right now. I'm running the music directly from the browser, and it's also being broadcast through the system audio. So everything is Ecamm. We got the music chilling in the background. It's powered up indefinitely, both the camera and the audio. Once again, straight from the 3 capsule microphone on the ZV-1F using Crisp, and that's what we're rocking with today. So let me know what you think. I think this is more than adequate when it comes to, a mobile setup. And to say that I was up and running in less than an hour with all the internet troubles, and I'm streaming wirelessly from my iPhone, I think this is pretty. It's definitely good enough. It's definitely good enough. All right, so let's go back to the chat. I gotta be honest with you. The thing that's killing me right now is only dealing with one screen. Like the fact that I only have one screen and I have to like choose which window I'm looking at instead of just have everything available. That's probably the hardest thing right now. All right. So right where we left off, Kevin says start an ASMR peeling channel. Those are funny. I've seen a couple of them. Hey, Roy is in the house asking me how I am. I am doing very well. How are you, sir? Thank you for hanging out here. Says Doc and Caleb are here too. We had Thanksgiving Canadian dinner at Katie's today. Oh my god, that's so true because today is, or yesterday. No, it's still today, October the 12th. But yeah, the Canadians celebrate Thanksgiving a month ahead of time. So yeah, that's so cool. You know what? Noted for next year to see if we can make it even a day earlier. You understand? But you know what? Another thing that I want to mention to you guys, Aiden is also done a lot better on the road trips. He's getting older and bigger, but then he's requiring a lot less. So a couple of times on this trip that I have it routine to stop every 3 hours to check on him, right? I was able to check on him and he didn't need anything. So it was like I stop, I check, and I'm like, there's nothing to do. I was like, okay, then we just trek on. I refuel and hit the road again, so I was able to make up a lot of the time that I lost on Friday. Oh, Jarrell Peak is in the house. What's up, man? Yo, let me know what you think of my makeshift, simple, like mobile setup, so to speak. Let me know what you think, because I know that you and Brandon were doing the mobile live stream as well, but to show you there's plenty of different ways of using this amazing program that we all love so much, Ecamm, to be able to do just about anything that you'd like with the most or the most minimalistic. Tech Troublemaker, he says, oh my goodness, wow. Okay, I'm hoping that that's what we're talking about, or that could have been all the stupid things that happened with the van. Dan Tana's in the house saying, what's up to myself? How are you doing, sir? Hope you're out there making some great music. It says the show must go on. Absolutely. Mr. Camera MacGyver. That's so funny. I've always said that. Like, there's a couple of creators out there, which, well, actually one of them, Caleb Pike from DSLR Video Shooter. Every time he makes a video about like one of his camera cages and things like that, that's or better yet, like when he puts together like these little rolling carts with everything built into it. Not only do I get a lot of inspiration from him, but I feel that he's like not my soulmate, but my soul MacGyver. You understand? Like, when it comes to tinkering and messing around, like I resonate with a lot of the things that he does because I feel that I would do them just the same way. Like, and when it comes to that, I think we think a lot alike. But he has a whole lot more, like a lot more Lego pieces to play with than I do. Yolanda's got a question. It says, other than travel Wi-Fi router, the Ethernet cable, is there any other cable I need to order to connect while in camp? I don't think so. Like, if you got one of the TPs or the other one that Doc was talking about, you're gonna be set. And you know what? Let me unplug it because it's not like it's actively running. But if you have an Ethernet cable where it actually has internet connection or access, all you would do. Oh, excuse me. Let's get that out. All right. I'm gonna show you the back end of it here. Focus. Focus. Come on. There we go. Okay. So right there, you can see you have a LAN and a WAN. So when you want to use a wireless access, that's where you're going to be plugging it in. So you would just take your Ethernet jack and you'll plug it in there, and then you will plug this into the wall. Then you will plug your USB-C and power it up, and then you've configured it or you use the password settings that are on the system itself, and that's all you need to get a uh, high velocity, high access internet connection right from the hotels where we're going to be staying in Amesbury. So that's all you would need. But if you look on the back of it as well, there's also another piece right there, which is USB. Come on, focus. Come on, CB. There you go. Let me see. That guy right there. And if you see what it says, it actually says USB 3G, 4G. And that's what's really cool about this router. So for example, let's say I wanted to have access from the internet from my phone, similar to what I'm doing right now because I'm using an Apple device as the MacBook Air and the Apple device, that they're both on the same iTunes account. So whenever I like go to airdrop anything, like this computer is already linked to the same Apple iTunes account, so it recognizes it right away. Like, oh, you want to send it to your Mac Studio or to your MacBook Air, it's always there. But hypothetically, let's say you had an iPhone and you had a HP computer, and now you didn't have access to connect the hotspot as simply as you can with Apple devices because they're native. You'd be able to actually connect your iPhone through USB right to the back of it, and now this little like TP link will actually be pulling the internet from your phone, and then this would become the wireless hotspot, and then you could use a off-brand laptop, computer, so on and so forth, to actually connect to it and get the internet from the iPhone. um, Wired is always going to be just a little bit faster, and you know what, if I would have had a little bit more time today, I probably would have came to that conclusion to say, you know what, I would drop the hotspot from the cable here. And the cool thing about it is that if you're utilizing it that way, right now my iPhone is up on the wall, but it's kind of like it's losing battery. If it's plugged in wired, it's gonna maintain the battery and give you the best connection as well. So let's say, for example, you didn't have internet like I don't have here, and this cable is not usable for you, then you'd be able to then connect an iPhone as well to it to then start utilizing the internet that way as well. And the most important thing about this is that it's your own connection. So if you do configure it to your machines where you're connecting to it and you have complete control, then you're also protected that much more instead of like being on a public Wi-Fi, which was kind of what I was trying to avoid. Right now I am, because I'm using my hotspot on my phone, so that's a personal connection. But if you were at like at a different hotel, airports, variety of different places, then this little like 6G router might be something that you're looking into. Paul says they're forecasting rain on Monday. Okay, but that's to the other side, not where we're gonna be. Put it out there. Says I'm traveling light gear wise. Yeah. So if it weren't for me actually recording this event, I wouldn't have brought my FX30. But that's the one that's overkill. But that's in a box that is like put away, and that's gonna be for the event. Everything else, I'm gonna be using this little guy, iPhone, obviously, because I just stay dumbfounded at how easy sometimes it is to just capture content on the iPhone. And the ZV, oh, no, not the ZV, listen to me. The ZV-1F I have here, but the Nikon ZFC. I have that one with a 35 millimeter manual lens, and that one has been really cool for just like driving and grabbing snapshots. Oh, because here's another thing. This little bad boy, the rental, has laser guided cruise control. Now, this is something that's been around for a while, like 20, 25 years. I remember when it was like, 2020 when Lexus was unveiling laser guided cruise control, right? But this vehicle has it, and because every year they iterate it just a bit, this has been a pretty well thought out, uh cruise control system. I can't get the words out today. But it's like you set it and kind of forget it. So you set your speed and then you set the distance that you want to be from the vehicles, and you kind of forget it, and it will literally, like, it will stick with the traffic. But it got to a point where there was an accident earlier today, and without me having to press anything on the vehicle, it recognized the slowing down of traffic. It slowed itself down, even down to a stop. And I was like, oh my God, that's pretty cool, right? That I don't even have to like slam the brakes at all, because it really has a really good iteration of this, laser guided cruise control. So with that, it gave me the sense of security, where I was able to not really be like, in the camera, but I was able to grab that ZFC and just like point it, like a different location in the car, to just grab some snapshots of me driving on the road trip over there, a couple of things that I saw. And so, yeah, that's been like really convenient when it comes to doing this road trip, because it makes it a lot easier. It's not that I'm not paying attention on the road, but just in case, you understand, I feel like it's got my back. So like I said, I'm old now, so I'm really loving minivans, and all these features are things that I'm like loving, that I think I'm just gonna end up getting for myself. Hey, buddy, you want to say hi to everybody? Oh, come here. Special appearance. Aiden Alexander Vega. No, come on. Everybody wants to see you. I cut his hair, as you can see. He got a fresh new cut. Daddy did a good job. Hey, everybody's here. They want to say hi to you. Yeah. So, of course, road tripping with my co pilot. Puppy, it's okay. Calm down. We're fine. With my most precious cargo, my Aiden Alexander. Stop poking my eyes. Stop poking my eyes. I'm trying to read. I need my eyes. Yolanda says, thanks for the heads up for. You want to see his favorite thing? Because he's a boy, so he loves being roughhouse. And he loves when daddy, like, messes around with him. So daddy's gonna go, Falcon! Look at his face. He smiles right away. Falcon! Oh! Okay. Well, let me get him some snacks real quick, and I'll be right back to finish up this live stream. Oh, let's not do that. Echo cancellation. All right. Come on. He didn't even come home. Punch. There you go. Here we are. We also got Scott making in here, saying what's up to everyone. How are you doing? Bro says, bro, I'm clear. You're in your studio. It's so much harder, right? It is. Especially when you're doing everything last second. I did this all from like 9 o'clock and I wanted to have it ready for 10, but 10:15, 10:20, not too bad. Says I will keep the iPhone as a hotspot in mind. That's clutch. Yeah. And another thing that you might want to look into, which is something that we've used here through the eCam that saves our butt more than one occasion, is actually called Speedify. And it's also something like this, right? Where it's gonna protect you, but at the same time, it's like a VPN, right? So it does have VPN like tendencies or properties to it, but what it does is that it will actually take like the wireless from the hotel, it will take the hotspot from your phone, and it will take like a variety of different internet connections and combine them to give you one real strong connection. So in case one of the variety of different internet connections that you have were to fail, the other ones would kind of like keep the stream like lifted and boosted. So it's a very good system. Look into it. It's called Speedify. And I don't know if Paul has the ability to, but as a moderator, he might have the link to just drop it in there as well, just to give it a look at. That'll help you guys a lot, a lot. See, Paul says everything at camp is going to be wireless. He says I'm going to try to connect my box tomorrow. Now, I got connection to the box itself and everything was working. I just needed the actual internet access to get it working. Roy says, I will bring my OWC TB hub as it has an Ethernet so that I can get my Mac online and go live late Tuesday night. Yep, but then also check it because we still have to check it. Like, I saw this big, juicy, orange, Cat 6E connection on the wall, and I was like, yes, we're golden, and it's a dud. It is a dud. You know, I'm just thanking me. Yep, but we'll be good. But plus, at the same time, it's creator camp, so everybody there is creator mindset, and any issues that any of us will have, we'll all like figure it out with a collective like hive mind. See, Kevin also says he's become a fan of Speedophile while on the road. Says also take super long iPhone cables so that you can connect. That's such a good tip. I actually do have quite a few of like these extra long cables for the iPhone, but I had mentioned that I'm gonna be buying me a new iPhone, so I'm gonna have to convert all of those to USB-C, which is like, it's a good problem to have, right? Hey, Grandma Goose said hi to you, Aiden. And there's the link for Speedify. But guys, we did it. You guys rock. You guys are the best. You guys make, like I say this every week, you guys, this community is what makes this live stream the best place where I want to be every single week. I wish I can say that I had time to set up a city's GAW and all that, but obviously you can see that everything was such late last minute that I didn't have the ability to look anything up or set anything up. Even my background, as you can see, we're rocking a black background today because there's no motion graphics, there's nothing on this computer, and we're just at a bare minimum. But even at that, I like to call this GE. It's definitely good enough quality, because there's a lot of people that would love to have a production that like the one that you're seeing right now, and sometimes I'm like the hardest on myself. But as far as a mobile setup, I'm always been very satisfied with the image that I get from the ZV-1F. And believe it or not, guys, this is a 1080 stream, but I'm only rocking 720 from that camera. But it still looks so good because it's pretty good in low light. And with a nice ample light, that's a good combination to get a good image. So Oh, Mulain hanging in or sneaking in last minute, saying see you soon at camp. Oh, so you're going again? Excited to see you there, brother. No, you say hi to him in a couple of days. We'll be there in no time. But guys, as always, oh, Sammy snuck in last minute. What's up, Sammy? We're closing everything out. You might want to catch it on the replay. It's just a simple, quick stream, and everything is looking nice and right here from Emporia, Virginia. Under 700 miles left on this trek. So for the next couple of days, worst case scenarios that I'm looking at, 350 miles per day. So that's what I have to do to make sure that we stay on track and on time. Even though I gave myself like a good 10%, 15% buffer just to make sure that I can deal with any incremental weather or just basic traffic. So with that being said, I'm super excited. Just a couple of days. Well, hopefully by tomorrow I'll be able to make up the majority of that distance. So I'll be rocking and rolling come Monday over there in Amesbury. But like I say, guys, you guys make this my favorite place to be, and I can't thank you guys enough for hanging out with me every single week right here on the Camera Junkie live stream. So we did it. This was episode 202. 202 consecutive weeks of the Camera Junkie live stream, and we ain't never gonna stop. We ain't never gonna stop. If you know, you know. But um, like we are at 202 and like with no end in sight. So if you haven't gotten the gist already, understand that we do this every single week, every Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Mr. Camera Junkie YouTube channel. So mark it on your calendar, set it up, because we're going to be doing it all over again next week, right here, same time, same place. And I can't wait to see all of your smiley faces as we rock episode 203 together. So everyone, take care of yourselves and each other, and I will see you next time. Talk to you.